for these two. We got a real one connection, folks. Clap it up for the could be, because it could be. Clap it up. Yes, for these two, we got a real one connection. Hallelujah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another connection check-in on your favorite show. A real one. Eye pointer. I'm excited, elated, and ecstatic because I was able to go outside of the studio radius to the lovely home of a wonderful individual who got a real one on a real one. I'm talking about Patrice. Yes. And I'm talking about Bernard. Patrice and Bernard, they got a real one connection on a real one. And that was a little time ago. Did you have an essential question for Patrice?
Well, she's the belle of the ball so far, who we've seen. So I'm pleased that all the rest of the gentlemen bowed out. It would be my honor.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to delay anything. Come on, walk with me. We're going to walk down here, walk on back. I'm going to just ask maybe one or two more questions, and then we're going to do it. Let's stop right here. Patrice, do you have one more question for this wonderful real one?
Well, I don't want to blow it before we get on the date.
Well, so you just want to.
I'm liking the setup here. Mm-hmm. What kind of car do you drive?
A Plaid S, Tesla S Plaid.
Oh, well, that's nice and fancy. Okay, good, you're driving.
Do you have an essential question for her?
No, I love her as she is.
Well, my final question is, do we feel this could be a real one connection? Could it be a real one connection?
This could be a real one.
Hope so.
Clap it up. We got a real one connection. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take this mic. I'm going to take your balloon. Your heart is going to go that way. Go that way. Yeah, go that way. Y'all go walk off. Go to some day. Whoa, they holding hands. Clap for them. Oh my gosh. Real one, real one. So the fans requested this. They said, we want to know what happened to Bernard and Patrice. So Bernard and Patrice, how you doing?
Great. Doing well. Thank you.
Beautiful. I thank y'all both for, Patrice, you allowing me to enter into your lovely home, this lovely abode. Tell us, Patrice, how has life been since you've been on the show?
Busy. Mm-hmm. But Bernard and I, we had the best time.
Really?
Yes.
That's a blessing. I wasn't even ready to get into the details, but I'm excited. Wow. So before that, though, so why have you been busy? Tell me.
Well, with family, I'm retired from work. I'm a neurokinesiologist. I work with catastrophic injuries, but I don't anymore, supposedly.
Okay.
But my phone still rings because I'm a consultant. Mm. And then the grandbabies have been in town. Okay. And then we had a new one. And so then I had to go out of town. Oh. And so it's been crazy. We tried to get together.
Okay. So we're going to get back into that then. They tried to get together, but you said you've had some great moments, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Bernard, tell us, how has life been for you?
Life's been great. I've had a wonderful time. I decided I want to work on my tennis game. So,
okay.
Right. So I've hired an instructor, and I'm getting much better, and tried to fit in some good skiing lately. And I love to ride my electric bike around the city. So I'm a happy camper.
How much time would you say you're investing into tennis a week? How many hours or minutes?
I play 6 days a week, and usually I play for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Goodness. Patrice, you got yourself an in-shape brother. Wow.
Practice my tennis.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Well, that's exciting. I'm glad both of you look fantastic, because it's been a few months since you've been on a real one and got your real one. So you kind of already alluded to it, Patrice. Let's just go right to it. We don't have to delay. Have y'all been out on a date or dates, or how's it been?
Well, we had just the one date.
Okay.
And it was a great date.
Okay. Tell me about it. Tell me.
Well, we went miniature golfing.
I love it.
And then we went to a dive bar.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you want to talk about the miniature golfing? Or
yeah,
the dive
Bernard, tell
bar?
us. Yeah.
Well, it some context here.
Okay, give me some context.
First, we went to Alba, and we had a great meal.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I don't drink.
Oh.
So she convinced me that
use the mic, keep it more to chin.
Unfortunately, I don't drink.
Okay.
But she convinced me to loosen up and have some fun. So I had a couple of dirty Shirleys and was feeling fine. And then we went miniature golfing.
Okay. Oh, so you were a little...
I don't drink that much either.
Yeah.
Okay.
My inner tiger stayed inner.
Oh, okay.
I'm just wild. I'm probably the only person 86'd out of a bar for being sober.
Oh my.
And they just think I'm drunk. I mean, I take a little bit, I get a little bobo.
A little bit, okay.
But dive bars have such a weird atmosphere. So, and then, we went to the nice restaurant. And then you want to tell them?
Uh-oh.
I'm kind of a mess.
Well, the miniature golf was a great idea in theory.
In theory.
Yeah. In practicality, and probably because of alcohol and age, those two together.
A good combo.
Yeah, finding the hole, which used to be a strong point of mine, apparently those skills have waned.
Oh, I understand.
So she had a wonderful idea for us to go to a dive bar.
Okay.
Because they have a fun band.
Yeah, you never know what you'll get. Yeah, at a dive bar in a western town, western town.
Really crowded, so we could talk.
Okay.
And, that was nice.
Okay.
Until I spilled things.
Oh, okay. So it got a little messy. Things got a little messy.
Yeah, well, we had this waitress who she spilled something, and it wasn't so much of a big deal.
Okay.
But the waitress kind of had attitude with us before. I don't know, it's because she was Barbie and I was an ink spot, or
not an ink spot. No. I'm sure y'all did. The fans loved y'all connection. It was a great look.
I was looking good, and she was.
Yeah.
So, but she had a bit of an attitude, and then when we spilled something, she just went full on skank hug.
So we made a bigger mess.
Oh my goodness! Not the skank bleep. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
Wow, keeping it real. Keeping it real.
But we just kept ordering drinks and having fun.
Yeah, kept doing your thing.
Then we had to leave the car to get a Waymo home.
Oh, that sounds like two. Okay, so before we go back to that, so y'all met on a real one. You had a real one connection. Did you go out that same day?
No.
So how soon? A couple days later.
Yeah.
Okay. How did y'all stay in contact? Were you talking on the phone? Were you texting?
Phone numbers.
Okay.
And
use the mic. Use the mic.
Oh, yeah, we traded phone numbers, and as I said, I'm becoming a bit of a relic, but my pheromones still work. So
Okay.
So I
Got the
figured
swag.
that we seemed to kind of click.
Yeah.
We clicked on the phone.
Right.
Yeah, we chatted. Oh my God, that first night we just chatted about everything.
Oh.
We're both raised in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And even though we don't have any of the same friends, we probably did an hour of a who you know, where you been.
Right. All the connecting.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, what would be an interesting date? Because neither of us get out that much. So
Tell me why you don't get out as much. Then I'll ask Bernard.
I don't know. I just, did that, done that, been there, grow up, kids got it. I don't know. I just don't get out much. So that was a hard figure. What do you do for a date?
Yeah. Bernard, is it the same for you? Do you not get out that much, even though you're a tennis star and you're out here doing it?
No, I spend most of my nights catching up on my streaming.
What you watching? Is there a show in particular?
Geez, Adolescence is great.
Okay, sponsor us.
The last season of Handmaid's Tale.
Oh,
I mean, there's just Dying for Sex. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, I've lost a bit of my confidence. When I was young, I was dashing and felt. How you doing?
You still got the sauce,
like
man.
Gargoyle from Easter Island.
No,
No.
Patrice doesn't agree.
Nate,
different, though.
Yeah, we're of the same age, so we have the same experiences and this and that.
Okay,
but when you're younger, you're fearless, and even if you look like gorilla feet, you think you're all right. Right?
Got that confidence.
Yeah,
makes
you
a difference.
But then as you get older,
I don't know, maybe a little lazy. It was really fun because we planned the date.
Yeah.
And I think like when you plan a vacation, you spend months planning the vacation and then it's done in a second.
That's how it
it was
goes.
kind of the same thing. So we talked about a week between first meeting on your show and then going out.
Okay.
So it was that whole week of planning, getting a little outfit to wear.
Yeah.
Thinking how I wanted to wear my hair.
Oh.
And just figuring out, what do you do?
Yeah.
Hardest part. And
Well, mini
they-
golf is great.
They said miniature golf because who doesn't like miniature golf, whether you can play or not?
Right, it's fun. And it's about connecting. That's the big thing. It may not be, maybe you didn't win. You said you might have.
Shared activity.
Shared activity. You're right. Even if you don't get the W, it's still that. I do want to ask this. A lot of fans want to know, you even said with your confidence maybe, but you were still confident enough to come on the show. So what would you say, we can start with Bernard, your experience on a real one, what was that like for you, especially getting a real one, but, in hindsight?
I didn't know what I was walking into. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember even how I found out about it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Real ones find a way.
I was just there.
Yeah.
Real ones find a way.
And so I showed up there, and the people were there, and you know what I mean.
Use the mic.
I automatically thought, that she was rather attractive. Whereas some of the people in some of the other segments, I like your show, but one of them women looked like gorilla spit. So
not the spit. We're not. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that.
So I was happy I didn't go then, but I was just going along and having fun. Kind of when you don't know, you just rock.
Yeah, you just go with the flow. Yeah.
And I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I met a great person. And if anybody gets the chance, I would definitively suggest that they give it a try.
Oh. And I was going to say that for the end, but that's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad you said that, because on a real one, it's never too late.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I've gotten attacked. Pointer, why are you trying to help these 60, 70-plus-year-old people find love? I'm like, it's never too late. Why would we stop at a certain age? Love doesn't stop.
I really appreciate it. I mean, I didn't want to do it. My friends go, I was like, oh, come on.
Glad you did.
And then my friends, and then the kids are like, you got to do it. Just get on TV.
Yeah.
You look great. You've been really boring. They call me
They said it,
boring.
not me. I think
and they go, you used to have so much fun back when you go to the mountains and and I was like, yeah, but that was back in the day. And they said, so go.
Right?
See what it's like.
Yeah.
You never know. And you never know. You never know.
You never know.
Because I found the real one.
I was about to say, did you expect to find? Now, you were on twice. Remember, you were on the first episode. Did you expect to find a real one?
No, because the first episode, the guys were such doofuses. No offense, they just weren't my mix.
All of them. Some were more special than others. No.
Some were fun. Some were fun. Some were a little cuckoo. Okay. But this is Los Angeles, so we're kind of used to that.
Yeah.
And it was. I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I got pushed into it, so I went blindly, happily.
Yeah.
And happily, look what I find.
Yeah, great
and
result.
I think opening yourself up to a blind experience.
Yeah.
A little challenging, but so fun.
Yeah. And I'm glad y'all came. That was my mission. Even y'all coming today. So this is the first time since your first date, your only date, that you've seen each other.
Yeah, we're going to go somewhere after
Wow.
this.
Oh, you're going to go somewhere after?
Yeah. Because,
okay, good.
Because we got this day.
You mapped it out.
Available.
Yeah. So even after today, though, do you think there's a chance y'all will put in the effort to see each other more?
Yes.
If things, I think I have to learn how to play tennis again.
Oh, why not? Yeah.
I used to play.
You're in
when I was
great
a
shape.
kid.
That'll keep you in.
I should. It's great exercise. It's so fun outdoors.
Right.
So maybe that'll be a date.
There we go.
A tennis date sounds great.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh, I have a park by down the street.
Okay.
We could do that.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Great.
But I'm kind of embarrassed because I'm not very good.
No, it takes practice. That's the thing. A lot of people, even when they come on our show, it's like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I don't want people to see. And it's like, look, for love, you got to take the risk. Love is a gamble, as Midnight Star said in Curious, right? So you have to take that risk if you want a great reward. And y'all got a great reward. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all look great together. You spoke to something, I know y'all have a date to go after, so we don't have too much time, but I'll just go for it, and I might get canceled for it. But you spoke to maybe the waitress or something not liking the dynamic of your relationship. Is this the first time both of you have maybe had jungle fever, as some would say?
You mean like where people give you that weird look?
Yeah, or is it, okay, I'll just keep it even more real. Is this the first time you've ever gone out with a black king?
No. I'm from Los Angeles.
Okay, so
We're
you're used to the
naturally
diversity.
integrated. So
Beautiful, and it's a beautiful thing.
I've always been colorblind, so it doesn't matter the color or the flavor. It's all in the personality.
Right. That's what it's about.
The looks, it definitely
Hey, that
looks.
helps. That does help.
It doesn't make a
the
difference.
former NBA player, or
The
should have been
skin doesn't
NBA
make a
player.
difference.
It really doesn't.
Being a
It really
sports
doesn't.
fan, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like watching sports. I like sports.
Yeah.
But,
Now, if you pass the mic to Bernard, because Bernard, is this your first time dating a snow bunny, as some may say? Don't cancel me, folks.
No, I grew up in the Studio City, West Hollywood area.
Okay.
And in most of my 20s, when you're as active and going out clubbing, my only qualifications were fallopian tubes and nipples. So, so I found
keeping it real
in a lot of situations with a lot of with a lot of they had to say you have to sow your wild oats.
So I remember coming to America.
Yes.
Yeah.
So back in those days, there was a lot of nights that ended with Mad Monkey Jungle Sex, and
he's keeping it too real. Oh my goodness. You're gonna find yourself down, Patrice.
I wasn't necessarily as particular back then. So obviously, where I grew up, so that's not really a thing.
Right. So you have children, Patrice. Yes. Okay. Now you and your Mad Monkey Jungle experiences.
No niglets.
Okay. He's keeping it too real. This man is a legend. Wow. Okay. So did you ever want children?
Okay, you know how you have to trust in life?
Yeah.
And even though you don't understand something conceptually, people you respect tell you have to take that leap.
Right, and impart. Yeah.
I've never had a desire to have a child, not a young child.
Okay.
I've had a desire to have a 15-year-old that we can talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everyone I know who has children say it changes your life completely for the positive.
Okay.
So,
So you just, it wasn't that desire in you to populate the earth.
Right.
Okay. Now, Patrice, your children, you said they, were saying come on the show. They were encouraging you to come on. How do they feel about even the first date you went on with?
They thought it was funny.
Okay.
They were happy for me because they know I've kind of turned into a homebody and just sitting at home.
Yeah.
It just, it just happens. And so they were just happy that I got out and trying to explore the world and just get back to my wild days. I wasn't married for a long enough to have a child. And then I have my brothers and their kids and their babies. So we're really tight knit. So everybody's babies are our babies. And so, but anyways, they all pushed me to go out.
I love that they did.
Because it's true. You get older and you just kind of fall in and click that TV on and couch potato sets in and order the food in.
Right. And you're speaking to a great point because we fight to get people of the advanced age to be on our show. And it's a real fight. It's not easy. A lot of people are like, I've given up on love. It's like, why give up? If you can get that spark like y'all have it, it's worth it.
I think it's laziness because I think the kids were right. I just kind of fell into a slope. Yeah. And they're like, get out there. You're not old. You're not dead.
Exactly. Have they prompted you to see Bernard again?
Yes.
Yes.
So we got it. Yeah.
I mean, we're literally getting together right from here.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to go.
But it took, I will take a little credit, it took dear old Pointer to bring this together for y'all. So why I know you've been busy, but for a great first date, why was it not immediate, let's schedule the next one?
Well, it was what you said is we both had things coming up at a certain time, and I had a medical issue. I had a medical issue for a second.
Okay, so I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Now, and we had a bad ski season, so I was traveling to go skiing. This and that
busy.
kind of thing. Yeah,
okay.
So I was out of town. I went to Vegas for a little while.
Okay.
This and that. And
no Mad Monkey sex in Vegas.
And then we had the fires.
Oh, he didn't answer that question.
Fires,
okay.
Right. So I mean, it's kind of been a tumultuous time in Los Angeles. So it's not because there wasn't any interest. It's just that there's a lot of conflicting things going on.
But has there been communication, like texting or?
We talk a couple times a week.
Good. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
Share silly TikToks.
That's good.
I'm not a big social person. I just laugh at some of the stuff.
And share it with a friend.
Yeah, talk about the ponies I have up in the canyons, which we got to go to the canyons.
Go to the canyons. Yeah.
We couldn't do that because of the fires.
Like you said, it was a tough time for LA, but we're still rising. Yes. We're still through the ashes, through all the turmoil. We're still going to make it happen. So I don't want to hold y'all up. I know you want to head out to your date pretty soon, but I just want to ask a few finalizing questions. A lot of people want to know when it comes to people of advanced age, and you're both aging gracefully and beautifully, but where do you think this could lead? Do both of you subscribe to the idea that you date to marry, or are you just dating for companionship and that stops at the companion? What do you think it could lead to?
I'm not looking for marriage necessarily. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay. What about you, Bernard? We'll take the mic.
Same thing.
Okay.
Whether we end up like Elizabeth Taylor, and Burton, or
well, she had like 8 of them, so
yeah, right.
we don't want Tay Tay. Elizabeth Tay Tay was a no.
So however it turns out is however it turns out. But at this point in my life, I treasure having a good time, and nowadays a lot of our life is lived in our head by our memories, and so it's nice to have experiences with somebody that are a new memory, added to the library.
Right.
It's pleasant,
right?
So it's a good thing. It's all positive.
Beautiful. All right, folks. Well, I don't want to hold them up. They have plans to go and hang out and rekindle that fire that hasn't really need to been rekindled because y'all have been communicating and stuff, which is beautiful. So last thing, is there something you just want to share to the fans that are watching, maybe some of those seasoned souls that are like, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I should go on the show. What do you say, Patrice? What do you say to those people?
Show?
Yeah.
If you haven't dated and you're past the, you're done working, do it. Because you have nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose.
It is like so silly. And then, as a woman, we don't usually have a lot of women friends.
Right.
I met some great women.
Yeah.
And we went out.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
We're friends.
See, that's the beauty of it. Even if you don't find your real one, you will meet other real ones that are in the search. And
right. The first time I went on, I became friends with one of the women, and we happened to be kind of neighbors. So now we're friends. And then I'll tell her all about this date.
I love it.
I'll be texting her probably from dinner.
Let her know. Yeah. I love it. Bernard, do you want to share something to the fans that might be wanting to come on and they're a little
Yeah. If you get the chance, once you pass a certain precipice, in your life,
true,
you get comfortable with your 4 walls. And sometimes your 4 walls can be seductive to the point of kind of stopping you from living.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance to be on this show, or even if you get a chance to go out and do something you've never done before, don't pass it up.
Amen to that.
Don't pass it up.
Oh boy, man, this was fantastic. I thank Patrice and Bernard so much for coming out. Thank you again for inviting me here to do this. I'm excited. I'm excited for maybe in a few months another check-in to maybe see as things have progressed and y'all have connected more. But I thank you for letting me be here. And I thank you fans for watching. So continue to subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next Connection check-in, possibly with Bernard and Patrice. I'm hoping that Real One Connection stays connected. Thank you, folks. We'll see you next time. I know what you're thinking, friends. I want to watch more of his videos. Well, that's a beautiful thing. We've got this video here, which is one of my favorites. I promise you won't regret watching it. We also have this playlist if you just want to dive deep into what we do, or this video here, which is groundbreaking, or you can click this if you plan to subscribe, which I hope you do. So thank you for watching, folks. We've got a lot of content just for you. Hope you enjoy.